Pokemon?
They say looks can be deceiving. Rabombi is the epitome of this. This bee-fly fairy creature may look innocent and harmless, but underneath that calm exterior is an unhinged maniac that lives to kill. Of course that's hyperbole, but I'm not joking when I say this thing is legitimately viable for playthrough teams or even competitive. As previously mentioned, Rabombi is based on the bee-fly, but also the stereotypical fairy. Rabombi is known for learning the move Pollen Puff, which references fairy dust. I say it's viable for playthrough teams because its pre-evolution Cutiefly can be caught quite early on and evolves at level 25, and can learn decent moves early on like Pollen Puff, Dazzling Gleam, and Aromatherapy. It has high speed and special attack, making it a decent sweeper that can boost its stats with Quiver Dance. However, its other stats are not great. Being a fairy type, it combats many prominent types, like Dark and Dragon, but it can also take care of water types. Not to mention, its design is super cute. In conclusion, I recommend using this in playthrough teams, even if only temporarily.
Who's that Pokemon?
Alola absolutely nailed the starter selection, and spoiler alert, all three of them are on this list. My least favourite is Primarina. Beauty is a prominent theme in Alola, with many Pokemon being themed around just being beautiful. Primarina is no exception. It is based on the mythical siren, mixed with a mermaid as well as a sea lion. Solid design origin, Primarina is oriented around its special stats, with exceptional special attack and special defense. Its typing of Water Fairy also helps out with its tankiness. While its bog standard coverage may turn many people away, it really doesn't matter for me. Moonblast and Sparkling Aria are fantastic moves that can take out many things which resist it. Its signature ability of Liquid Voice can also be useful. This ability boosts the power of sound-based moves, such as Sparkling Aria. The only thing that keeps it from being any higher is just the fact that I like the other two way more.
Who's that Pokemon?
The third Alolan Pokemon in a row, and another water type, is the ever-majestic and always powerful Tapufi. Just like its other Tapu counterparts, it guards an island, in this case the Pony Island. Tapufi's appearance when it closes its shell resembles a swordfish or a marlin, but when its shell is open, Tapufi resembles a mermaid or a siren, just like Primarina, but more humanoid. It may also be inspired by Kanaloa, one of the four major Hawaiian gods and god of the ocean. Kanaloa's association with the underworld may inspire the Ruins of Hope, Tapufi's shrine, said to be where life ends its journey. What a great origin. Its highest stats are its defense and special defense, but it also has great special attack and decent speed. Very mixed. This is one of the two Tapus appearing on the list. Can you guess who my favourite one is?
Who's that Pokemon?
Jirachi is a Pokemon that I don't see enough people talking about. This is because its spotlight is often overshadowed by the likes of Mew and Celebi. It's a real shame because I really love Jirachi. It's very unique and is basically a genie. Jirachi is shown to have the power to grant wishes, and is likely based on the phrase "to wish upon a star." This is showcased in the movie he appears in, which is coincidentally also very underrated. In this movie, Jirachi is cute but also very funny. In terms of game data, Jirachi is one of the lightest Steel-type Pokemon, and has stats similar to that of Mew and Celebi. It also has access to Serene Grace, which is one of my personal favourite abilities. Jirachi is a Pokemon that I use from time to time and often leads me to victory. As previously mentioned, its stats are similar to Mew and Celebi. Its stats are balanced with a base of 100 in every single stat. I just wish more people would show love to this little guy, but Game Freak rarely includes it in anything. It really sucks.
Who's that Pokemon?
Gardevoir or Gallade? Sorry Gardevoir fans, but I'm going with Gallade. Lean, valiant, and regal. These are words that I would use to describe Gallade. Everyone should use a Gallade in a playthrough team at least once. Giving a male Curlier a Dawnstone is an ingenious move that will save your team from failure at least once. Gallade makes for one of the most unique fighting types yet. Some may say Gallade is nothing more than a physical Gardevoir. To that I say, well, yeah, they are correct technically, but I also find Gallade to be more interesting and fun to use. Not only are its offensive stats damn good, but its special defense is really good too. Like, it can rival Suicune. That is what makes Gallade unique compared to other fighting types. It can give hits and take them. Gallade can also learn Leaf Blade and the Elemental Punches, which are some of my favourite moves ever. Gallade's design is based on a noble swordsman and actually defends Pokemon that have no means of defense themselves. That is a noble swordsman right there. I named mine Zoro until a recent other Pokemon was created. We'll get there. It also has one of the few Megas that I have no complaints about. Simply adding a cape fits Gallade so well.
Who's that Pokemon?
Here we go. Charizard. Do I think Charizard is overrated? Yes. Do I hate Charizard? No. Charizard is a super fun Pokemon to train. In the earlier generations, Charizard was a great fire type due to its immunity to ground moves. But with that, it has a crippling fear of rocks. Stealth Rocks alone can take out half of its health. But it also has pretty good stats. It's great special attack and is quite fast. It can learn a decent array of moves as well, such as Solar Beam, Dragon Pulse and Focus Blast. Charizard also has 2 Mega Evolutions that are both meh. I like the design of X, but hate using it. And I hate the design of Y, and I like using it. That reminds me, people often say Charizard is one of the best Pokemon designs. I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. It's a typical dragon, not bad but nothing special. But its Gigantamax form, now that's a ferocious looking dragon that isn't actually a dragon. Let me repeat, I don't hate Charizard. I mean, he's on the list, isn't he? Shouldn't that be enough? Oh, and he is a fun character to use in Smash. For what that's worth.
Who's that Pokemon?
Another Pokemon I love for how elegant it is. Seriously, just look at Melodic. His whole design is based on how beautiful it is. For a while, the only way to even get Melodic is by making the already hard to get Feebas and making it as beautiful as possible. The origin of Melodic seems to be a mixture of sirens who would lure sailors in with their haunting songs and then kill them, and the Oarfish. A great concept for a Pokemon. Despite having a decent yet underwhelming move pool, Melodic is great in battle. Her special defense is on par with Blissey, which is no easy feat. Anyone who has played through Emerald remembers Wallace's Melodic, and how much of a bitch that was to take down. Marvel Scale is also a great ability, which allows it to boost its defense when inflicted with the status condition. A really interesting fact is that Melodic seems to be a counterpart of Gyarados. They are both serpentine fish, have the same base stat total, sharing the same HP, defense and speed stats, with attack, special defense, and special attack stats sharing the same values but in different arrangements. Melodic is basically a Gyarados who had way too many beauty supplements.
Who's that Pokemon?
I really feel bad for Crabominable. This Pokemon receives so much hate online for no reason. I find him to be extremely charming. Crabominable was born from Crabrawler, its pre-evolution, living in cold climates, such as mountains, which is actually how you evolve Crabrawler. While this does mean you won't be able to use Crabominable in most playthroughs, finally evolving this little guy will reward you. The design is based on the oh so terrifying coconut crab, but also the legend of Yetis. For such a scary concept, Crabominable is really a goofball. Look at him, a big lovable oaf. But don't underestimate him. He has a base 132 attack and one of the best defensive typings imaginable. He can cover 9 different types with that typing alone. Ice Hammer will crush even the bulkiest grass, ground or dragon types. So please tell me, why does he get so much hate? I really want to know. Because all I see is a strong, goofy and charming Pokemon.
Who's that Pokemon?
Nice cock. Meaning Blaziken, of course. Blaziken is a strange looking one, ain't he? It looks nothing like a chicken, but that's what makes his design so special. There really is nothing that looks like Blaziken. Gen 3's best fully evolved starter is another Pokemon that specializes in attack and speed, while also having decent special attack. And if you have a Blaziken with the ability Speed Boost, that speed stat will look mighty impressive in only a few turns. It can learn many strong fire and fighting type moves, including Blaze Kick, which was once its signature move, as well as Sky Uppercut, but it can also learn Earthquake, Stone Edge, Bulk Up, and Sucker Punch. Its Mega Evolution is also very neat, and was given away to people who bought X and Y at launch, like me. Some other interesting things about Blaziken: it debuted before its generation, which is unusual for a starter. Also, it is tied with Darmanitan for the highest base attack stat for non-legendary fire types. Blaziken is a special one, that's for sure.
Who's that Pokemon?
From one Firebird to another, here we have Talonflame. Gone are the days of early game normal flying types, as Kalos gave us a fire flying type instead. Like all Pokemon with this typing, rocks are a definite no-no, especially with this thing's physical defense. Its base attack stat isn't even that great, but its hidden ability, Gale Wings, will give it a much needed push for a fight. This gives a speed boost and priorities for flying type attacks. So imagine Brave Bird having similar features to Quick Attack, but much stronger. Until it was nerfed. Now that is only the case if Talonflame is at full health. This makes it considerably weaker, but every fighting type is still screwed if they come across Talonflame. Its moves and ability is much of the reason why it's this high on the list, but like many people, I used one on my initial Kalos team, and it helped me through many tough fights. If Gale Wings wasn't nerfed, it would be way higher, but it's still a badass, powerful, and generally useful Pokemon.